Yeah, I apologize for that last stream's interruption. Yeah,
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 these things
it's
happen. Technical difficulties.
yeah,
What can
well,
you do?
yeah. Well, I blame it on my crappy laptop. I'm now fully broadcasting from I'm now fully broadcasting from my desktop computer, which but I still have my laptop is where what I draw on. So I'm the screen I think you're seeing now. Let me just pull up YouTube. Oh goodness, I got to turn that down. There we go. Yeah, you're seeing. Yeah, the screen you're seeing on YouTube now is from my laptop, which if you haven't noticed before is an old-fashioned square screen.
Yeah.
That tells you how unsuited for live streaming it is. I don't even have uh, open broadcaster, which is proper live streaming equipment.
Don't even have a rectangle.
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. An open broadcaster is the gold standard for live streaming anything. I just don't have the capability to support it. Not even on this computer, but I will eventually get a new computer that'll hopefully come be fully accommodated to open broadcaster. That way I can stream on multiple platforms. But am I coming in clearly here?
I can hear you.
Yeah. I'm not even coming in choppy, am I?
No. So far, doing pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, because I can't even hear myself, and that's actually good for me. Because that's one of the reasons I was stuttering all the time. I mean, I stutter to begin with, but I was often pausing just because I would hear myself talk, and that was weird to me.
I could see that.
Well, anyway, let me turn the music back on here. And yeah, once again, as I got to mention, a lot of the main music you'll be hearing is from Techno X, and if we actually hear any music that is not by him, I will do my best to go back and give credit where it is due. But everything is in Creative Commons. I suggest you check out their individual YouTube channels. Let me start some. Well, I also got some video game music that nobody will remember unless you play a lot of sports games. So I will start with. Does anybody remember the video game NBA Hang Time? The sequel to NBA Jam.
Not really. I don't remember it.
Well, I do. It was when Midway was trying to. Assuming it'll load on my phone. Yeah, there it goes. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to drawing. Yeah, I'm right now in the penciling stages of the cover.
Yeah.
And here I am drawing the Jennifer character. And remind us of what the name of the book is, Tom.
The book that this is going to be a cover for is The Hood and The Heroine is the title. It is book 3 of the Gale Saga, which is the series I'm currently writing for. This will actually be the final installment of the saga.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that actually makes me sad because I've been enjoying drawing these characters every 6 months.
The end of an era, man. It reached that point where I finished book 3. Like I finished all the proofreading and the writing, and I decided this is as good as it's going to get. It's like, dude, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
I brought this up in the previous stream, but there's a series I write for called the Jade Blade Legacy that's currently up in limbo due to publisher issues. And without backtracking too far into that, that's just the background the people joining stream 2 would probably need. So as soon as those issues are resolved, which aren't hard to resolve, as soon as they're resolved, I might pick that one back up, or I might start a whole new idea. I've got like 3 or 4 ideas I'm kind of thinking over right now.
Yeah, I do have a bunch of things I do plan to stream on this channel myself, but I am currently tied up with a bunch of stuff for Camelot KC.
Yeah.
And not that I don't enjoy that. It's a lot of drawing character, My Little Pony style characters, and I love drawing in that style personally. It's a rather fun style of drawing, but it's keeping me away from my original ideas. And I am actually hired by a publisher, and I'm not going to be streaming anything from them unless they allow me to. But I am anxious to get back to developing those ideas that I have submitted to them. Now here's personal issues I have with myself, and this is just me complaining about my own drawings, and probably why streaming is it's probably a bad idea to talk about this on stream, because then people are going to notice it. But I'll just go ahead and bring it up anyway. This probably shows how long it's been since I've drawn a human body, because I've been spending the last 3 months drawing ponies. But yeah, even before I started getting on a Brony Conventions art team, I've always noticed, oh, don't do this to me again. At least I'm broadcasting from a different computer, so that I can get back on if need be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it might be the microphone.
Am I starting to cut out again?
Oh. You're kind of getting that robot voice.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just went out on the street. I just blacked out again on my laptop.
Oh.
And I didn't. It usually doesn't do that when I'm streaming from Manga Studio.
Interesting.
Yeah, usually it'll let me resize something, but apparently for whatever reason it does not like it. You know what? I'm not going to bother resizing it, and sadly this means I'll have to sacrifice coloring it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. But let me try to rejoin the Hangout. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we're back on.
Okay.
Oh shoot! I forgot. You guys have not been seeing me draw because I've been looking at anatomy references this entire time. Dang it. I forgot. Because I'm sorry, I'm used to I'm actually used to sharing my screen from a completely different computer, but I'm sharing my screen on this one right now.
Yeah.
So, on my desktop, I'm usually used to sharing my screen from my laptop. So you guys have not seen any drawing I've been doing because I've been looking at anatomy references.
Ah.
Well, it looks like I'm just going to have to wing it. Oh, well.
C'est la vie.
Well, no, wait. No, wait. Well, it's late at night. My brain's not working. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I just, am I still breaking up?
A little bit.
I still think it's the connection, but we'll see about it when I try it on a completely different. We'll see what happens when I try it on a completely different computer in a completely different house.
Yeah.
So. All right. She is wearing the exact same thing, and I gotta. Thin that out. Yeah. And when you're, it has been a while since I've drawn a human body. I can personally tell. I don't know if the audience at home can.
Yeah. Well, when you spend what did you say it was, 3 months?
Yeah.
You spend 3 months drawing horses, you're going to get used to drawing horses. You got to draw people.
Yeah.
Then you got to remember what people look like.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And right now, the proportions of the bottom half of the body are all wrong. So I got to spend time fixing that.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, the majority of the characters I'm asked to draw, and I spend more time drawing commissions than I do my actual stuff. But and the majority of people who want commissions drawn want females. So you'd think I'm an expert at drawing females, right?
You would think.
You'd think, but for the female body is extremely complicated. But whereas, I don't know what it is about me drawing male bodies, but I can pretty much draw male bodies in my sleep.
There's an allegory in this somewhere.
It's not what a lot of people are thinking, I assure them. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at my Google Hangouts screen here. I noticed if I click the, by default, I had the thing selected where it just shows your avatar. And then next to it is I'm guessing the screen that you're drawing on. Because I'm noticing movement and lines and stuff getting added to this screen. So it's I clicked the thing next to your avatar, and it's showing me the screen now. I'm still learning how to use Google. I'm still learning how to use Google Hangouts for the audience at home here. So I'm learning new things here.
It especially can't be easy for the partially visually impaired.
Yeah, it has its challenges.
Yeah.
I am learning a lot about software these last couple of weeks. I've learned about Google Hangouts tonight, and a week ago I learned how Zencaster works. Well, I say I learned how Zencaster works. I mostly just had to show up, and they recorded everything else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, does he listen to your? You also have a podcast you're running, or what?
I do a podcast. It's on SoundCloud as well. We listen to each other's podcasts.
Yeah, I figured. And
yeah.
And here I am, a horrible friend. I don't listen to your podcast. I need to get around to that.
I don't mind. The way I see it, the podcast is really more of a hobby than anything else.
Yeah.
I am an author first and a podcaster second and a YouTuber probably eighth.
Yeah.
Because I have a YouTube channel, but I almost never update it with anything interesting.
I think I know what to do here. It probably requires my computer to slow down here. Yeah, this is why I switched to digital. Because even though when I do comics, I will do a combination of digital and paper.
Yeah.
But I'll start everything digital just to get the proportions right, because I suck at it on paper. I can draw well on paper, but I will be constantly erasing, just because my hand-eye coordination is good, but I will sometimes be in a hurry to draw something, and it won't look quite right.
Well, if ever there was a time to say that's why pencils have erasers.
Yeah. But still, it's just annoying to sit there and be constantly trying to fix a problem. And I'm not saying that problem doesn't occur at all when you're drawing digitally. It's just less frequent because worst case scenario, you can do if people who didn't watch the first stream, whether you're watching on YouTube or Minds, I also have a Minds account, which I will probably leave in the description.
Yeah.
But whether you're watching this on YouTube or Minds, I lost my train of thought there. What was I talking about?
Something to do with mines?
No, it was something different. Dang it! I sound like a complete idiot. This is why I'm.
Yeah, you definitely have to listen to my podcast then, because I do this all the time on mine. Here's the
thing. I don't know if I might try to podcast again, learning what I have learned. But I was on a podcast with Cantor Casey. I think it was about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
We were on there with a guest, and I kept talking over her, and I wasn't chewed out for it, but the con chair had a few words about it with me. It's like, don't step on our guest,
dude.
Those are our guests, and and I actually went back and listened to the podcast in question, and it was just so cringy on my part. I'm like, oh gosh, I sound like a jerk. I listened to the entire thing with my head buried in my hands.
Oh man.
And if that person is listening to this podcast right now, which the YouTuber in question is this is her full name. If you haven't heard of her, her name is I Like Impossible a Lot.
Really?
Yeah. It's a, yeah, I'm so sorry. I sounded like I, well, I'll just flat out say it. I sounded like an asshole. And,
So her name is I Like
yeah,
Kim Possible a lot, but she covers My Little Pony.
yeah, I didn't ask her about this, uh, but I think that was the name of her YouTube account before she started doing reviews, and then she just started doing reviews on that particular account. I'm gonna have to ask her about that once I get the chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, but when you got a mind that just goes at 100 miles an hour, and you got a lot to say, you're like, oh, and then no, not like monkey brain, but more like me, more like a first grader who raises his hand up all the time in class.
Oh yeah, first grader who doesn't just raise his hand, he waves it. It's like, oh, right here, yeah, me.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. And here is where I got to look up references for hands, and I'm doing this on my desktop computer, which you cannot see, despite what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hands are hard. I've talked to other artists before, other people who are, either self-proclaimed artists or people who, just like do it professionally to some degree or another, but they'll all tell you hands are probably the hardest thing to draw.
Yeah. Those and feet.
Yeah, I was just about to say feet are an immediate second place, apparently.
Yeah, and dude, I've gone out of my way to try to perfect the art of drawing feet. And I like to say I am pretty good at it. I'm not the best person at drawing feet. And the only reason I did this is because, they are hard to draw. I wanted to make sure and the reason I practiced feet so much is because I think feet are the ugliest appendage on the human body. It's like I can't stand to look at it. But I think
that's kind of how I feel about noses. I was gonna say that's how I kind of feel about noses. Noses are just ugly to me.
Yeah. But so if I'm gonna, but there are gonna be times like the first cover where I have to draw it, and if I'm gonna draw it, dang it, I'm going to draw it in a way that is pleasing to me, and I do a decent enough job to make me satisfied. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But and I've actually been I meet up with other artists. I've been actually complimented on my feet before, and if they think it's good, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can especially say I'm good at it. Of course,
if you're getting compliments from other artists, you must be doing something right, surely.
Yeah, but of course, having not drawn them in a while, and that of course means I'm going to have to. That of course means I'm going to have to practice all over again. And the thing I'm trying to remind myself to do is warm-ups before I actually draw. And a lot of people do warm-ups so that they can get good at whatever they're struggling with at the time.
Yeah.
I don't do that, and and I suffer because of it.
I can see it.
Yeah. It's kind of like, how singers, they got to warm up their voices before they perform.
Yeah, like singers gotta sing, we gotta do the warm up vocals. The actors gotta do the how now brown cow stuff. That's how. Well, I mean, the athletes have to stretch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, artists, they gotta warm up.
Yeah.
And I've already made my mistake there. Let's see here. Okay. The thing is, I could never find a hand from the angle that I want. Like this particular angle, I could probably, I could probably get it if I look at my right hand like that. Yeah. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting I can reverse the. I keep forgetting that I can reverse the drawing there temporarily, so that I can get a good look at. So, oh yeah, that makes things so much easier. Yeah, I'll just draw a right hand, flip the drawing back. That's a left hand.
All right.
And just because I'm dealing with a new mic, how is the audio coming in?
A little robotic, but otherwise I can understand what you're saying.
I guess that's what matters.
Yeah. I think YouTube has like a subtitles feature, so they might, if they can switch on the subtitles if they really, really want. Of course, that'd have to be in the archived version.
Of course, but I don't think it would. I don't think it would actually. I don't think it would pick that up personally. Yeah. If it says robotic, as you're saying.
I've honestly never messed with the subtitles thing except once or twice where I turned it on accidentally. So I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
And I noticed, and just for the record, I noticed I turned it on accidentally because my screen reader started reading the subtitles as the person was talking. So I've got two voices telling me the exact same thing. And it's like, no, I want the human to talk. Shut up, robot. That being said, it is funny to hear Jaws read a transcript of Aaron Hansen's meltdown during the Green Demon Challenge. Oh, man. If you haven't seen Game Grumps' Green Demon Challenge, as soon as you're done watching this stream, whenever it ends, I recommend you go to that immediately after this.
Yes, do so.
Yeah. Who needs sleep? You've got videos to watch. That's your...
that is your purpose in life. You are beholden to your video overlords.
And with that robot voice, that sounds really ominous. I was actually going to say that's your homework for the night, kids, but that sounds so much better.
I haven't watched a Videodrome the whole way through.
Yeah.
But I know I'm doing myself a disservice by not watching that movie the whole way through. I gotta finish it. I just started it at a friend's house, but then I had to go home. So I basically, but yeah, I was really into that movie when I was watching it. And James, and I haven't watched too many James Woods movies. I really, and he's somewhere between. He's the guy who acts a lot like Al Pacino, but sounds like Christopher Walken. if you know what I mean.
You
Like,
know, I can actually
you know who
see
James?
it. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
you know
know
who James Woods is?
I totally know who
Yeah,
James Woods
because
is.
yeah,
Yeah, he was in a couple of movies. He was in Videodrome, obviously. Videodome.
yeah.
I can't talk all of a sudden.
Uh,
He was in
oh, well,
Clerks, the animated series, as like
oh yeah,
scientist, as scientist number 3, I think.
yeah. Oh, the guy who was working for that military when he put the dome over the
Yeah,
over the shop.
yeah. Oh man.
He was he was he also did one of the few Family Guy episodes that I actually still enjoy.
Yeah. Apparently, he's the closest thing to a villain Family Guy has.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a no. Yeah, yeah. Even when I draw a fist the right way, I still can't draw it the way I want.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
anyway, we were talking about how awesome James Woods is. A lot of people who were '90s kids might know him for Hades.
Yeah. Yeah, that was him. Yeah. It was like the Hercules movie and the cartoon.
Yeah.
Some people liked it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I certainly like it. I mean, it might not be Disney's greatest movie, but it's still very entertaining. It takes a lot of liberties with the mythology.
Yeah, that's kind of Disney's thing. I mean, they took liberties with the Hercules myth. They took liberties with the Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah, yeah. Little Mermaid is a very dark story.
Yeah.
It's like they also took a few liberties. They also took a few liberties with Tarzan, but I can officially say that movie is better than the original books.
I've only read like excerpts from the book, and
yeah,
yeah, I kind of get the feeling this guy was, based on the excerpts I read, I kind of get the feeling this dude was writing some really subpar erotica.
yeah, yeah. It was.
I'm probably even being a little generous calling it erotica, but yeah.
I mean, well, it was definitely appealing to the fetishes of the time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were into exotic settings. Being half naked, of course.
I was gonna say half naked jungle people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it was definitely appealing to that, and it's he actually did write I haven't seen the movie that this is based on, but there was another book he did called The Jungle Girl. It was really, yeah, Edgar Rice Burroughs is who we're talking about, and I apologize to any Edgar Burroughs fans, but here's the thing. Here's my issue with him. He comes up with a lot of he's a writer that came up with a lot of great ideas. Tarzan is a great idea. John Carpenter is a great idea. But he could not be the person to bring those ideas to their fullest potential, because he is a very, in my opinion, a very subpar writer.
Do you mean John Carter?
John Carter, not John Carpenter is the film director.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, what? Carpenter? That guy directs movies. What?
Yeah, John Carter.
All right.
that ought to
ahead.
show you how memorable the books and or movie is. Actually, no, I remember a lot from that movie, believe it or not, and was one of the very few people who went to see it. So, that's sad because it was actually a good movie.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, they were all good ideas. But I like the book. The only book the other book other than the Tarzan series that I ended up reading the whole way through was a book called The Jungle Girl.
Yeah.
I think that's the name of it. Oh, those are terrible fingers. But yeah, he did a book called The Jungle Girl, and it was I could say it was just really bland. That's all I remember about it.
I've never
And,
even heard of it.
It's one of his more obscure books, and they actually did make a movie based on it. But from what I hear from movie enthusiasts, it's one of those soulless Hollywood deals where they do the movie, they buy the license, but the relation is only in slight name only.
Oh yeah.
And even then, even then it's a crapshoot because the Jungle Girl is the subtitle to the movie. I think the name is Nyoka, which is Nyoko.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Nyoka, the Jungle Girl.
Yoko, the Jungle Girl.
And they, from what I hear from enthusiasts of that particular genre, the movie is actually much better than the book, and it has crap all to do with the book.
So it's very, very, very loosely based on the books and is actually better because of it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the exact opposite of The Dark is Rising then.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It takes a lot to get me legitimately angry at a movie anymore, but that film adaptation of The Dark is Rising, yeah, that pushed some buttons.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I used to get angry at movies all the time, but then I mellowed out and I'm like, dude, it's just a movie. If I see a bad movie, the only problem with it is that I see a bad movie. It doesn't really affect life in the grand scheme of things. And that hand is way too small now. Yeah, that's what a lot of erasing does, and that's why I have. And that still looks like a very crappy fist. So.
This is the challenging part, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. So, yeah, and I used to be at least consistent with it because I used to be at least consistent with it because I could draw, but that's back when I was drawing humans all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, and right now I'm just not satisfied with the angle at the moment. And I kind of want to draw it at a diagonal. I think I'm just going to cut my losses and do a profile view if I can find a good one to draw inspiration from. Oh, okay, what do you know? I can probably... Okay, yeah, I can work with this. Just gotta do Okay. All right. Yeah, I can work with that.
Okay.
Let's see here. But here's the thing. I don't get mad at movies anymore because again, they're just movies.
Yeah.
But there's only 3 movies that have made me legitimately angry. And even when I was constantly angry at movies, I could look. There were a lot of movies I look back at, and I was like, "Well, was that movie truly worth getting angry over?" 9 times out of 10, the answer was no.
No.
It wasn't. But there's only been 2, 3 movies that I've seen in my lifetime that I thought that were truly worth getting angry over. Those have been Meet the Spartans.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was the with Meet the Spartans, I have nobody but myself to blame on that one. Like,
yeah. We were legitimately dumb enough to go see that. How bad can it be? They said unwittingly.
yeah, I don't know why previews for that movie in particular looked funny to me because I looked at Date Movie and Epic Movie and
pretty much all the movies.
Yeah, yeah, I looked at those and I thought to myself, like, these are not funny in the slightest. And for some reason, Meet the Spartans looked rather amusing, and I can't, still for the life of me, can't. I guess that's why I get so angry about that movie is because I tricked myself into believing that it was going to be funny when I went to see it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I can only blame nobody but myself. With the second movie that made me legitimately angry, I went to see with my brother, and I had no intention of seeing it. It was The Devil Inside. And
I vaguely remember that movie.
Yeah, I mean, and it started out. Thing is, it's one thing when I go see a movie with friends and myself, because my friends are movie people.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not time when I go see a bad movie with friends. I don't consider it time waste because when I see a movie with other movie people, we all talk about how bad that movie was.
Yeah.
So it's not time wasted. We're still bonding over it.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother is not a movie person, so he will not understand what a time waster I think certain movies are. And it's just because my brother's family. That no offense to friends, but that time is especially precious.
Mm-hmm.
So when I feel like my time is being wasted with family, I get especially angry. It's like, and that movie was just going through. It started out interesting, and then the second half was like, oh, you're just getting so predictable. And by the time, it was just nobody but my brother and his friends in the theater. So I was lucky not to get kicked out of the theater because I started yelling at the movie. It's like, I don't think I'm giving anybody I don't think I'm giving too much away. It's even a movie that I absolutely hate. I don't want to give away spoilers to, just in case there's somebody out there who actually likes it. But there's a scene where a priest is getting possessed, and he's got a gun to his mouth. It's like the devil is making him do this, and I'm going, oh, don't act like you can build suspense of a movie. You've already proven that you're incapable of this. It's like, go, I'm going 3, 2, 1, shoot yourself.
Yeah.
No, shoot yourself. Shoot yourself already. Before I know it, I'm actually saying this at the top of my lungs in the theater. It's like, I was later told by my brother that, it was like, and he told, my brother and I have those things we give each other crap about. I give him crap all the time about what an idiot he was as a teenager. He gives me a crap about being way too obsessed with movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be fair there, but he told the person who is now my ex. It's like, here we are watching this horror movie. All the girls in the theater are legitimately scared. And we're like, oh no, what's going to happen? And then there's my brother right behind, 4 rows back from me, going, come on, shoot yourself. It's like,
do it already.
Like, yeah.
You're giving those girls in the front row like completely the wrong impression.
No. It's like I just destroyed according to him, I destroyed the entire suspense.
Oh, okay.
I destroyed the suspense because I was like, we all know you're going to do it, so do it.
I think the closest thing to a moment like that I've ever had in a movie was when I watched The Spirit in theaters.
Yeah.
The Spirit, I think it's one of those movies that may have fallen into obscurity. So if you've never heard of The Spirit film adaptation, 2 words, Frank Miller. Proceed with caution. Look,
unless you're a diehard fan of Frank Miller, and they are out there.
I liked Frank Miller. I still do like Frank Miller. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like he comes out with a new thing, and I'm just like, oh, Frank, dude.
Yeah.
No, just come on. You're better than this, Frank. No.
Let's just say, I thought Holy Terror was, when I read it, I thought it was the most hilarious thing that I've read in a while.
Yeah, I think, I honestly do believe there's a series called Atop the Fourth Wall, and it's a comic book review series.
Yeah, it's rather famous.
Yeah. For the 2 or 3 people who have probably never heard of Linkara, just saying. The guy, there's a lot of times where I feel like that dude is way too hard on Frank Miller. I understand, he has his moral compass and I have mine, and I understand that he has his concept of good storytelling and I have mine, but and I will say, a lot of the stuff he does pull up in the reviews, I do agree with, but just as much as stuff I just think, dude, you're kind of grasping at straws. Case in point, his review of Tales to Offend. It's like, oh wow, really? You're complaining about a story being dumb and offensive for the sake of being dumb and offensive? I kind of think that's the point of the comic.
Yeah.
It's like, stop. Stop the presses. Frank Miller wrote a comic with the sole intention of being dumb and offensive. I mean, holy crap, man. We need to go to the highest mountain, and we need to make sure the townspeople know of this, because this is shocking. And this bit's getting dead. This bit is dead in the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, yeah.
Well, but yeah, it's like, I don't hate
Yeah, I mean,
Frank Miller by any means. I think the dude had a lot of great stuff. I just kind of think that we've kind of reached that point where he's kind of spinning his wheels.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Frank Miller does remind me of Jack Kirby in his later years.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby is always remembered rightfully as this this legend of the comic book industry who revolutionized dynamics in artwork. I mean, you look back at his stuff in the 40s. You know, he was not particularly good at drawing the human body, but he made up for it in dynamics. It's kind of had somewhat of a, and I know a lot of people will kind of disagree with me to an extent. I will never call Rob Liefeld a good comics artist. He was definitely a good pinup artist because, again, not good at drawing anatomy or the human body in general.
Dude, some of Liefeld's art is so bad, I can tell.
Yeah. But, but there was a reason he was big in the 90s. It's like it was dynamic. He had the dynamics down. You can draw something that looked exciting, especially for its time, and you can pick that up and if you were morbidly, I think I should draw that from let's see what it looks like when I resize it. But anyway, you can pick up anything from Rob Liefeld. Notice it was different for its time, and you can still appreciate the even if it's bad, you can appreciate the effort that went into it, because he goes into a lot of detail in those old drawings. As a comics artist, I would never call him good just because his page composition is always puzzling. I mean, he does not know how to set up a good. He does not. His pages don't flow very well. Let's just say. And I think even he thought he completely missed the mark with his own story when he did Youngblood.
Yeah.
But because I actually own the Youngblood Omnibus, which is the graphic novel that came out, and it completely changed the dialogue from the original.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you're talking about okay, you're talking about Rob Liefeld. Did he have anything to do with Supreme?
Yeah,
that's one of his. Okay, I was gonna say, in the first stream, I was talking about how the concept for Gale came largely from reverse engineering and doing the exact opposite. If I remember Supreme correctly, Supreme was kind of another example of taking a concept and going the exact opposite direction because, look at Kryptonite. It's the one thing that can make Superman go to his knees and be all, oh, God, I'm so weak. Oh, the horror. Whereas the Supreme had Supremonite or Supremium or whatever they called that weird little glowy rock in his series. And that actually made him stronger. That actually... he needed that rock or else he was just a normal man, which was actually kind of a cool idea. I thought, like Kryptonite makes him stronger. Yeah.
And, you read any newer issues of Youngblood that are not written by Rob Liefeld, you can tell I think he's kind of self-aware about his skill as a writer / artist. because you know
Yeah.
he's had a lot of people. He's kind of had a lot of people write stuff for him over the years, even draw stuff for him, and he and you know they've kind of hit the mark better because you know the way he pitched Youngblood or the way he originally intended for it to be was you know he was going you know what if superheroes really existed, you, they would be getting corporate endorsements from Nike and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know he original Youngblood series being the mess that it was, he didn't really convey that concept very well.
No,
So,
I mean, from what I saw, they did have Bedrock on Oprah or some sort of Oprah-esque kind of show, but
yeah,
that was the closest I ever saw to that concept. I will own up to have not gotten especially far in Youngblood though, so
yeah, you know it's you know I mean I have nostalgic Youngblood has nostalgic value for me just because I was an Image kid growing up. There, you know, you had your Marvel, your DC kids. I was Image back then.
You were the fringe minority.
Yep, but you know, I was not alone in that fringe minority though, because you know they did actually outsell Marvel and DC combined for quite a while, and I don't think it was until they actually held out until the comic book bust of I think it was 97, 96.
Okay,
one of those 2 years.
Somewhere in that general range.
Yeah. Actually, you know, you want to if you have Netflix or Amazon Prime.
I have Netflix for sure.
Yeah, you want to watch a documentary called "The Image Revolution." It is a very, very interesting documentary about all the guys who founded Image, how they their rise, their fall, how they their personal beefs with each other, and their eventual reunion.
So the Image Revolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it actually, because that's what it was. Because it was all these guys, you know, they broke Marvel, and they were the hot young artists that everybody was buying their stuff, but Marvel wasn't paying them what they viewed to be their dues. It was and there's you know I see it as an argument made for both sides. Where I mean, yeah, it's like I recognize, you know, if I ever get hired by Marvel, which is, you know, I don't think I'm going to get hired by Marvel anytime soon. But if I create a character, I'm creating characters for them.
Yeah.
That's the contract, you know. So, yeah, Marvel is sole owners of the characters. However, you know, if anything, I felt the look at Todd McFarlane and all those other guys' side of the story. Yeah, they should get a little something extra for having created those characters. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, so of course they want to go away and break off and form their own label, which was actually considered a risky move in comics back then because you were challenging the big two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, no publisher up to that point had done so successfully. So, but then but then they were consistently the best sellers. Can't remember how many months, but it was for quite a while. Whenever an Image book came out, people were quick to snatch it up.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm drawing Jennifer's hair finally, because I can finally move on and do that.
Yeah, talking about Image a little more, perhaps my favorite franchise from Image was probably hands down Savage Dragon.
Yeah, that's always been a good book.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you any of the stories anymore, but I remember the characters very well. I remember Arachnid. I remember Overlord.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was a D-lister henchman caliber villain there named Octopus. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember anymore if he was actually in the comic book or if they made him for the cartoon. That I remember being good, but I was 11 when the cartoon came out. So
yeah, it's yeah, I couldn't tell you because I didn't watch the cartoon.
Yeah.
Youngblood almost had a cartoon,
Yeah, and that ended up not happening, didn't it?
No.
Weirdly enough, they did give a cartoon to Ultra Force.
Well, that's because Ultra Force was, it was a
yeah,
Malibu. It was printed by Malibu.
Yeah,
Comics.
Malibu Comics in association with Marvel.
Yeah, well, Malibu was a subsidiary of Marvel, if I'm not mistaken.
Subsidiary, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, it's that was and that was I guess creating new characters without having to insert them in your already established universe.
Yeah,
which, if nothing else, I mean, Marvel suffers from a whole lot, but I won't get into a lot of it here. But I think one thing they could stand to do is any of the new characters they came up with, they could have. They don't fit in the regular universe, so the least they could do is, just give them their. As risky as it is to do a new label, I think that would be worth it if nothing else for experimentation of new titles.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that really in terms of like the Marvel universe, like one of the ways you could clean up a lot of the nonsense in the Marvel universe right now, or at least in the 2000s for sure, but a good way to clean it out was basically give the X-Men their own universe entirely, like completely separate from the Marvel heroes like Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, etc. Just because a lot of the problems tend to stem from the X-Men and their uncanny ability to keep coming back from the dead after they keep getting killed off and whatnot.
That's the uncanny X-Men.
Hey, what do you know? That's what makes them uncanny.
Yeah. Well, no. The problems have gone way beyond.
Yeah.
And I have a strict note.
It's a good starting point, perhaps.
It's like, part of it is political, and I'm not going to get into. It's like, if not political, it's also cultural. But taking those out of it, because I do have a strict no politics or religion policy on this stream. It's like, whether you agree with the politics or not, or no matter how pushy a person is about it, you can still tell a good story with.
Yeah.
But, there are plenty of movies that express politics I agree with, but I like it because it's either good. It's either funny or insightful, or forces me to, it kind of challenges me, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, getting back into Ultra Force.
Well, before you go on, I was not. Look, it's like, I'd say the key thing the key problem with Marvel, this is the key above all that other stuff, is I read any of their books these days, and it seems like I read the dialogue, and it seems like it's written by me as a fifth grader.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just to call. You know what? Actually, no. To call the writing childish would be an insult to child writers.
Ouch.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
But I do think that is the key problem. If you take the cultural issues and the politics out of it, it's just not well written at all. But yeah. But go on with what you were about to say about the Ultra Force.
Well, okay, if you want to get on the topic of bad writing, Ultra Force kind of, to me, kind of fit in there. I mean, for the love of God, they had a bad guy named Enemy. I distinctly remember this. If from nowhere else, from the really, really bad cartoon that used to be on, they had a villain on there named Enemy. And I get that comic book bad guys and good guys tend to not have the most subtle names in the world. I distinctly remember there was an X-Men villain named Onslaught at one point. I could also point to
Rob Liefeld creation, so that should give you an idea of why it was not so subtle.
Oh yeah, I was also going to say Mr. Sinister. Not the greatest name, but yeah, when you look past the name, that guy had some stuff going on for him. But
yeah,
I couldn't tell you a thing about Enemy other than his name was Enemy, and that's in my head. I am screaming, "That's stupid!" I'm sorry. I want to give this thing the benefit of a doubt, but that is just stupid. We have a bad guy. He's going to be the enemy. What should we call him? How about Enemy? Okay, we can do that. Yeah, and then the rest is history. I think my only favorite character in Ultra Force, like the only character I could say I even remotely liked, was probably Ghoul.
Yeah.
And
hey,
you had something to say?
Well, I was just going to say that, Ultra Force, once I got a grasp of what good writing in comics was, it was one of those books that I bought, just because, the characters looked cool.
They did look cool, especially Ghoul. I made a rhyme.
Yeah.
I'm a rhyming fool.
I've always been a big fan of Prime personally.
Prime?
It's like from an aesthetic standpoint, I also like the concept overall.
Okay, which one was Prime again? I'm kind of drawing a blank on him.
He was their He was their flagship character. The guy who, and I'm drawing a blank here. That shows how how memorable these stories are.
Yeah, some flagship hero, huh?
Yeah. It's like, I think it's. Let me look this up on Wikipedia because I want to make sure I'm completely accurate. Not helped by the fact that it's been ages since I looked at any of these books, but I just remember liking them.
One moment, viewing audience.
I think from Prime's power, if I remember correctly, he got slime all over him, and then he became the hero. Ultra Force. Okay, so your Ultra Force superhero comic. Prime. Okay. Prime is a superhero created by. Our powers and abilities. Kevin transforms into Prime by projecting an organic liquid flesh material. Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay,
That's what it was.
this is sounding familiar now. Yeah, that guy.
But when I first started reading the story, I didn't pay much attention to it. I just looked at the artwork mostly.
Yeah. The only other Ultra Force character I remember off the top of my head was Topaz.
Yeah, those were the two main ones.
Yeah, so it's good that I remember that one at least, because that's the one you're supposed to remember.
Yeah, it's like Prime and Topaz were the two main ones.
Yeah, and yet
somehow
I ended up.
Somehow ended up what?
And somehow I ended up liking Ghoul.
Yeah. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah. It's just wait. You sounded like you were about to go on, but then you stopped.
That I may have had a thought and lost it halfway in.
Oh yeah. I get that. I get that a lot.
Oh yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So, but yeah, here I am drawing the Hood, and he told me he's got this kind of ski mask off a cub. What was it called again?
Balaclava.
Balaclava, yeah.
Yeah.
I never, I might be stupid, but I have never heard that term before. I just know it as.
I didn't hear it until I started watching Arrow.
Okay.
So.
And he's got a hood on over his mask, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. For the record, yes, I'm not. Yes, I did read the scene descriptions, but I don't know. I guess they just didn't stick with me as I was drawing the draft here. Okay.
You got my thinking music.
Please don't copyright strike me.
Charging my attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, talk about that. That's one of those moments where I recall like watching Dragon Ball Z abridged for like the billionth time, and it's like the thought occurred to me, dude, this thing has been on since I was in college. I am old.
Yeah.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged has been on probably longer because it was the one that got that ball rolling altogether.
Yeah. A lot of those guys, it was formed by the original three guys that got big doing it, right? Original four, I should say.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were four. I don't know if Vegeta 8639 is still involved. I doubt it highly. I don't recognize his voice. Anything.
Yeah, I know that Little Karibo is not officially part of Team 4-Star anymore. He went back to doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, but he still does voices for them.
Yeah, I think when Frieza got killed off of Dragon Ball Z for good, they didn't really. He went back to doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
Yeah, I think he had a kind of a personal falling out. A professional falling out but he didn't take it personally, so he still says, "Hey, I'll do work. I just won't be an official member anymore."
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's good to see stuff like that happen. People have personal beefs that are just purely professional. Again, this is the way I perceived it from when I read into it. So take whatever. And I wasn't there, so I can't tell you a thing about it. So take whatever I say with a grain of salt, as you should do with anybody who makes a claim.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's like, but if that what I just said has any sort of validity, it's good to know that it's kind of like saying that your favorite band broke up, but there's no hard feelings over the creative decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
So not Breaking Benjamin then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Anyway.
Hoodies are actually really easy to draw.
That's good.
Yep. Let's see here. Just going to go ahead and merge those layers together. I'm looking at the YouTube stream. You're getting all blurry on me. Yeah, this week is this Saturday. I'm gonna go to a film festival of sorts.
Oh yeah.
The arts and crafts art and craft brew festival, which is they're having a beer fest and a horror movie festival at the same time. And
beer and horror movies.
Yeah, which depending on who you are and the kind of film goer you are, that's either the best combination ever or a really bad one, because especially if you get really scared when you're drunk.
Oh man. Or if you get really, really disorderly and make the movie going experience completely inconvenient for the people in front of you or behind you. Or just in the general vicinity of you, really.
Yeah. Yeah. But before I get on my other thought, I'm actually going to go see, I'm going to try to go see 2 movies because I'm hanging out because Thursday is the only day my brother gets off this week, so I'm going to try to see a movie there with him.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to try to go on Thursday, but then I'm going to try to go see. Have you ever seen the movie Suspiria?
Suspiria.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
I don't
you've
think
heard
I've
of it, right?
seen that. The title does sound familiar.
No, it's kind of a surrealist horror film in a way, mostly visually.
Ah, surrealist.
No, not surrealist. It's highly stylized. It was the last movie to be shot in Technicolor.
Oh.
Yeah, it was And it was a 1970s Italian horror film. So you probably got an idea of what you're in for if you're familiar at all with Italian horror.
Hmm.
But
I may have an idea.
But it's basically this woman goes to a Germany, and what she doesn't realize at first is that the school is run by a coven of witches. So
Yeah, them blasted witches.
but I think the stream on still shows up on the Hangout.
Hmm.
But okay, yeah.
Still going?
Yeah, it's still going. Yeah, it just
Okay.
it just conked out briefly on my laptop.
I see.
But it's coming back in, albeit very blurry. Hopefully, it won't look like that once I get this. Hopefully, it won't look like that once I get the thing. Well, yeah. Well, once the thing archives,
Yeah.
or at least it won't be like that consistently. I don't know how long it was like that. I just checked YouTube for a moment, and all of a sudden, what I was drawing was not showing up. I'm like,
Oh.
uh-oh. Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's at least I'll appear to have enough material once I edit together the speed paint version.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm watching the stream right now on Google Hangout, and it looks. Consider who's talking, obviously, but it looks fine to me.
Yeah. I'm just well, there's two ways to watch it. There's the way we're watching it, and only we can see it on Google Hangout, just because we're the ones talking to each other.
Right.
Whereas everybody else can see it on YouTube, and I currently have my YouTube window open. And there are times where it looks a bit. The feed is a bit looks a bit blurry.
Hmm.
And again, how's my audio?
Audio sounds fine now.
Oh, it's like, is it actually clear?
Yeah, it just cleared up like a couple seconds ago.
Really?
Yeah. We were doing the robot voice for so long, and then it suddenly cleared up.
Wow. But,
This has been an adventure, hasn't it?
it has been. Yeah, and I'm probably going to have more adventures like this as I continue to try to build my streaming career.
Yeah.
But
Well.
I will say this. I was about to say, I think I know. Yeah, I want to go back to what I said earlier about women being so hard to draw and men being so easy. This is why. It's because the reason men are easier to draw is because they're much wider. So you have a lot more to work with.
Yeah, we men are a blocky lot, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like you can draw this. I can draw this as probably almost as cartoonish as I want. It would still look somewhat realistic, or at least believable.
Yeah.
But when you draw women, you just gotta. Everything is so slender that you gotta draw it. It's very difficult to to be consistent on that end.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm about to finish up the legs here. And I actually have to get up at 11.
Yeah.
It's 1:30 in the morning right now.
Wow. Where does the time
Let me
go?
make sure there are no. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna give some some minimal background because not much is needed here.
Yeah.
I just want to. Oh, there goes the stream again. You know what? Next time. No, wait, there we go again. You know what? Here's. Yeah, and I'll draw a rough background and call it good.
Okay.
And I'll probably resume this tomorrow night if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Yeah. And feel free. You know, you of course have my permission to post this stream on both streams on your Facebook page.
Of course.
So, yeah. But yeah, let me. That's what I wanted to push. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, this is just a very rough background.
Okay.
Here, just like probably draw what will eventually be a dumpster. But yeah, I'll be drawing a bunch of lines and straightening out the perspective. But I'm just giving myself an idea of where I'll put lines. But yeah, all the characters are penciled out. Once I factor in the background, I will start coloring it. Tom, I thank you for joining me on this stream.
It's good being here.
Yeah, and if you have time, I hope you will join me tomorrow.
We'll see where the evening takes us.
Yeah, of course. This also depends on whether or not I get called into work on Thursday morning.
Right.
I mean, I'd go all night if I could, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my body needs a midnight snack, and I need sleep. So.
I need a midnight snack, even though I've already worked all the way to 2 a.m.
Yeah, well, somewhere in the world it's midnight.
It's always midnight somewhere.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you know, I know not many people tuned in, but for those of you who actually watched afterwards, well, thank you for joining us. And now that I have a better idea of how to stream, hopefully I can do much better in the future. All right, you guys take care until next time.
Bye.